Our podcast episode today is sponsored by the publisher for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Delacorte Press.
Welcome back to Tangled Web Podcast, where we talk about those mystery and murder books that always leave you constantly wanting more. Today we'll be summarizing and reviewing the book A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson.
Holly Jackson is a British author, and this is her debut novel. It is very impressive for her first novel.
The book begins with a copy of a project proposal filled out by Pippa Fitz-Amobi, aka Pip. Explained to her teacher that for her senior year project, she will be researching a 2014 missing persons investigation of Andy Bell in Fairview, Connecticut, as she believes the person who is convicted of the murder is completely innocent.
So the story is, 5 years ago, Andy Bell was murdered. Almost everyone thinks that Sal's her now then boyfriend killed her. But before going to jail, he killed himself. It's true that Sal's dead, but Andy's body was never found, meaning she could not be dead. She's still just a missing person in Pip's eyes. Pip also strongly believes that Sal didn't commit suicide and didn't kill Andy.
Pip uses capstone logs to write down her thoughts after an interview, or if something comes to her mind. Pip's first real interview about Andy and Sal was with Ravi Sai, Sal's brother.
In Ravi's interview, he says Sal woke up in the morning the day of Andy's disappearance as his normal self, but once he found out about her disappearance, he was worried and tried calling her a million times, and then the police interviewed him, making Sal look more innocent than before.
Pip's next interview was with Mr. Ward, a teacher at Sal and Andy's school, and also Pip's best friend's dad. He taught Sal and Andy at the school. But the day Sal killed himself, he claimed he called in sick to work, dropped the kids off at school, and rested all the rest of the day.
Ravi comes to Pip's house after the interview and says he tried to investigate 5 years ago, but had no luck. He thinks that Pip might have a chance to solve this investigation, so he made a deal with Pip, and now they're investigating partners.
Pip goes on a camping trip with her best friends. While she's there, she gets to know when she returns from something. And it reads, "Stop digging, Pippa." Creepy, right? Pip finds out that Andy bought drugs from someone and sold drugs.
Pip takes her dog, Barney, for a walk and loses him. And of days of him missing, she gets a message from an unknown number saying, "Do you want your dog back? Then bring all the hard drives and your laptop with your project on it and walk 100 yards into the woods and smash all of them."
So Pip walked into the forest and smashed all of her work, but Barney never returned. A couple of days later, her parents told Pip that they had found Barney, but he was dead in a river. Pip could not bring herself to believe that he was dead. She cried and kept saying, "It's not fair, it's not fair."
Pip was at Kara's house, her best friend's, which is also Elliot Ward's house, and looking for clues. She found a document on the printer and printed it out. The note read the same as the note left in her locker by the killer. It said, "This is your final warning, Pippa. Walk away," meaning Elliot Ward was the killer.
Pip confronts Elliot, and he confesses to everything. Elliot said that Andy threatened him, that she could send him to jail for having a romantic relationship with her, a student, and him, a teacher. Elliot got mad and pushed Andy. She hit her head on a desk hard. When she went to get up to get a first aid kit, she was gone. He heard she was missing and thought the police would think he did it. So, to cover it up, he killed Sal Singh with a lot of sleeping pills and suffocated him with a plastic bag. He took Andy's blood from under his desk, put it in Sal's fingernails, put Andy's phone in his pocket, and left his dead body in the woods.
Ravi had previously called the cops to the house, and Elliot was arrested for the murder of Sal. Yay! Elliot's story meant Pip still didn't know who killed Andy Bell, so she decided to talk with Becca Bell, Andy's sister. Becca confessed as well. As Andy ran out of Elliot's house, she went home, and Becca was there. Becca was mad at her because Andy had previously bullied her. Becca pushed Andy. Andy fell straight on the floor and laid flat, then vomited and choked on her own puke and died. Becca just stood there and did nothing.
Becca took Andy's body and put Andy's body in Andy's car, drove her to an old farmhouse, and put her in a septic tank at the old farmhouse. Becca gives Pip a drink, then Becca says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean for your dog to die. It was dark. He must have gotten confused and fell in the river." Pip's dad and Ravi find Pip. Pip's dad asks, "What's wrong with Pip?" Pip replies, "Becca drugged my tea. Call an ambulance and police." Pip sees the blue and red police lights and goes unconscious.
Becca gets arrested, Pip goes to the hospital, gets healed, and does a presentation about her project with Robbie, and they decide to start a podcast about Andy and Sal's murder.
Holly Jackson has put out 2 more books, following Pip and also a prequel story to this one. A Girls Guide to Murder TV show will be released on July 1st of this year.
And that concludes our podcast episode. Thank you!